I like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. Vincenzo, episode 16. Spoiler alert, let's get it. So when we last left off, Vin was being framed for the death of Jae-han. But as the cops were getting closer to take him in, he fought back against the cops. The real killer was still upstairs the whole time. He runs down the steps and bumps into the old mafia nigga. They have one-on-one and they battle it out. Mr. Tak helps Vin gets away so they can assess the situation. Meanwhile, they're interrogating this nigga, taking his phone and screening his calls. Seon's pissed off once again, they still don't have him in custody. Then he gets some advice from Mr. Tak and telling him that he used to be in the mafia too. But he had got out a long time ago. Then Chai and the rest of them arrive with this nigga. After Vin tortures him to get information, they find the hideout where his boys is hiding and they give him a thrashing. Then they package him up for the police. They tell him they were really behind it, they got camera footage and evidence, and it clears Vin's name. At Babel, police arrest Mr. Cho, who was behind the whole incident. Mion's like, God damn it. At this point, Jun is scared because he's like, man, we taking this shit too far, man. Vin thanks him for his help because, he caught the perp. And as payment, he wants him to be a model for their services. So he does some random ass poses. Back at Babel, everybody's frustrated and they start to see who's on whose side. Like I said before, Jun's been riding with Wang and Mion's been riding with Seon. But like I said, their intentions are starting to come to light. Vin and Chai go visit Mom again, and she wanted to take photos with him, so that's what they do. Then they all go for a walk. She's finally getting some fresh air. And she still doesn't know that's her son. It's crazy. And she's talking about stuff so much he doesn't get the chance to tell her. It's a very emotional scene. Meanwhile, crazy-ass Sehan is setting his sights on the plaza. He's like, fuck it, if I can't get the guillotine file, nobody can. Basically, he plans on blowing up the plaza. So one of the tenants is talking to this inspector, who's just going around inspecting and stuff. And I should have knew something was funny then, because when have they ever had an inspector? Like, when has anybody ever even cared about the building, let alone, other than the people that live there? Mom hugs Chai and hugs Vin, and he actually hugs her back. They on their way back to the plaza, and Chai's like, eventually you're gonna have to tell her that, that's your mom. He tells her when the time is right. Back at the plaza, the couple's finally about to have a baby. Celebrating new life into the world. At night, everybody's gathered in a restaurant celebrating. What they don't know is outside the plaza, this chick is setting up charges. I knew she wasn't a damn inspector. She had cut the gas off on another level of the plaza. And next to it, another one of those explosive watches. Oh shit. 5 minutes till detonation. But as she's waiting for it to go off, the fire department shows up. Who the hell called the fire department? They're alerted to the gas leak. They go downstairs to get the watch. Seon takes the watch with 13 seconds to go. I said Seon, I mean Vin. Tosses out the window just in the nick of time, and it catches on fire on the ground. Man, they was lucky as hell. But again, everybody was inside celebrating. Who the hell called the fire department? Seon hears the building still standing. He's pissed the fuck off again. Wang feels the wrath. He gets a statue thrown at him. Mion comes in with some urgent news. Seon kicks his brother out the office. If he can't share news around him, that's letting you know where the trust factor is at this point. Mion found out which hospital Vin's mom is staying at. Aw, man. Ain't nothing good coming out of this. Meanwhile, back at the office, Wang pulls up in the office looking like a 1970s disco ball dancer. And he's the one that actually called the fire department just in time. So because of that, Vin lets him actually work around the office. They got him filing paperwork because they don't trust him to do anything else. Meanwhile, at the penitentiary, this guy's a free man. Turns out Myung is the one that got him freed. So who is this dude exactly? Alright, so remember back to the driver that killed Lee Chan, Chai's father? He's the guy that killed the driver. So it seems like Myung's getting desperate and hiring common criminals to get this shit done. So at the hospital, while Miss O was enjoying some fresh air, Seon pays her a visit. Damn it, I don't like where this is going. Later on, Vin's about to go back to the hospital to see his mom, because he's finally going to tell her that she's his son. He stops by a stand to get some food first, though. Back at the hospital, she's resting in the bed. Then this doctor's just standing over top of her. But then she looks over to her right and sees the guard that Vin put at her door is dead as shit. Yeah, so dude ended up choking her out, man. Done deal. Man, I could feel it. I knew some bullshit was going to happen. Vin finally gets to the hospital, but as he's walking up the steps, he bumps into the guy. Unknowing to him, that's the guy that just killed his mom. Turns out it was the dude that just got released from jail. Gets there, sees the crowd around the room, you already know what time it is. Yep. And he never got to tell her. I can't even imagine what's going through his head right now. He meets up with people to get the video cam footage. Chai gets there too. They don't see his face in the camera, but he recognizes it the time that he bumped into him. Chai's not going to talk him out of this one. She already knows what time it is. Myung and Sehung all celebrating and shit. Meanwhile, Juden gets the information for that guy for Vin. And he ready to get on this gangster shit. This motherfucker chilling in the house drinking, watching cartoons and shit. He goes to the door. What does he see? Death staring in his face. He beat the fire out of his ass. He's like, man, who you work for? He wasn't trying to say shit. Then he breaks his fingers one by one. Meanwhile, half the crew celebrating. The other half is paranoid because they're like, yo, you're just provoking Vin at this point right now. Myung's like, oh, you already picked sides, huh? You know I've been tracking you, right, Wang? She knows you've been going to the plaza a lot. What you be doing over there? She also got that feeling that Wang was the one that's called the ambulance to stop them from blowing up the plaza. Tension between the babble niggas. Somehow this dude got up and he's trying to run for his life. But he's not really running after him. Why? Then a bunch of guards come out and Vin starts giving them the business. Then we see him running towards this spot. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's using him as bait. This dude is taking him straight to Myung. So as Myung has basically exposed Jun for not being on their side, right at that moment, this dude come busting in. Oh shit. Because you know who's right behind him. Puts two in the back of his head, finish him off, done deal done. Yeah, you already know. Yeah, Myung, that's the face you should have. The deaf nigga. And that's how the episode ends. Of course it would just stop right there, right? Slay DZ, y'all DZ, you already know what it is, mister. Ow, big. Who the goddamn slogan?